Hey everyone, welcome back to the Able Gardener, and in the past year or so, the not so able beekeeper. But I'm getting out today and I'm going to get my hives cleaned up. I'll just go back probably about a year or so where I unfortunately didn't get my bees treated for mites, and probably mites got about 4 or 5 of my hives. And then last fall I got out one day and thought I'd really clean up my yard, and just from my own ignorance I took out too many things out of the yard. I had a lot of sunflowers and a lot of sunchokes, and my bees, obviously my bees were depending on those flowers to get into winter, and since I took all of them out, which was just a really dumb thing to do, but I had at least 2 to 3 hives abscond. So now I'm just down to 1 hive, one really good hive. It's not like they even took a winter break. Today I feel like it's really important that I start those at least 3 or 4 nucs today out of my really great hive, because if something happened to that hive, then I'm out of bees and I would just have to start buying new bees to get going again. But since I have so many honey supers on this hive, and I might start a new colony with just supers. So I'm going to put this small hive on the base, and then I've got a nuc that I can put the larger frames into to take over to my empty box. So I'm just going to set that down there. I have a feeling I'm going to have more small frames of eggs than large frames. So check these guys out. Last year ended up the season with just 1 honey super on top, and the hive was just really strong. They started building up some more, so I put another super on. I had honey in there with just a few frames. They ended up building honeycomb around my sugar feeder that was in there. So I put another frame. So I put another hive, another super on top, just to give them some room. I didn't want them to swarm, but this top is pretty well glued down. So I'm anxious to see what's in here. I need to get my smoker. It looks like my smoker is, well, sort of going. Need to get these guys smoked, because I came out to look at them the other day and I got stung quite a few times. They were just, it was a spring day, very sunny out, and they were just going crazy. And so I wanted to see what was going on in the hive, and unfortunately I got stung a few times, but it wasn't any big deal. Probably just about 4 times. A couple on my arms and 1 on the back of my neck, and nothing I couldn't handle. Okay, I'm anxious to see what is going on in this hive, and to, well, clean it up, get the empty feeder out, and try and get these guys situated correctly. I have a feeling there's a lot of honeycomb stuck to the lid because it's pretty heavy. So let's check this out. Oh goodness. Okay. There are a lot of bees on here, and it would be nice to start a new hive with some of this, but I'm going to see what I can do, because I don't want to waste everything that they've done here. Let's see what my feeder looks like. Not too much honeycomb around the sugar dispenser, so we'll get that out. That's great. Nice to drop it. Well, not much in this super. It's something I set over the top so that the other day I just wanted to set this over all that honeycomb that they made. Looks like some of the honeycomb is falling off, but maybe I can get that into a nuc box. Now at this point I'm not sure where the queen is, and I'm going to have to cut off some of this honeycomb down below to get this set inside the super to start a new hive. I'll just start a new hive with all this and all these guys. I just have to take these longer pieces of honeycomb off, and I really want to keep it somewhere, since looks like it's full of eggs. There are a lot of drone eggs, and I don't see any obvious queen cells right now, but possibly. Okay, that's not what I meant to do. One more piece off of here. Oh, there's another large piece on the bottom. There we go. That could probably make a nuke right down there all by itself. So I'm going to get this and this. These guys are already making honey. Get this put into a nuke and set this lid back into the super, into an empty super, and deal with these guys later. What I just want another hive. I hate getting down to one. It's really kind of worrying me. You know, it seems like these guys like drawing out comb on the roof of something instead of in on the frames where they're supposed to put it. Like I said, I'm going to put this here for now, and then I'm going to worry about it. Worry about it just a little later. I'm not sure if the queen is in here or not. I'm going to be taking this whole other hive apart. So here is my sugar feeder with honeycomb attached to it. There we go. Set that down on the ground and see what's going on here. Try and get some of this honeycomb cut back. Okay, you guys. Oh, they've really got this attached. Now I'm trying to think of how old the queen is in here and what color I marked her with. I think she's marked with yellow, so she should stand out pretty well. A lot of drones. Crazy amount of drones. I'm going to set this in the little nuke I have down on the ground just for now. There we go. I'll get a lid on this and keep these guys, try and keep them a little bit quiet for now. There we go. Now, get down to the next level. Now this next super, they already have some capped honey up here, brand new honey, and just a little bit of honeycomb in the wrong places. So I think I may start a nuke with this super also. So that'll give me at least two or three new hives. You see that this was the main one that I had the feeder in. And here's the bottom of the feeder right here. Now, if I'd known they were going to go this crazy over the winter, and actually never really have a winter, I think I would have done something a little bit different here. Now, I know this probably looks like a bee junkyard, which it basically is right now. It's just a lot of things that I let go, and just trying to get them back in some kind of order and get back to having some hives this summer. A little bit of honeycomb there to clean up. And I'll get some super frames in here. I'm not too worried about having the super on the bottom, because as the bees use up these frames, start laying in frames up above, then I can switch them out with a deep. So I'll put a deep on top. And, well, put a deep on top when I know that they're going and they've made a queen and it's actually a whole new colony. And then at some point I put a deep on top, and then sometime midsummer or even this next fall, I'll switch them out. Okay, well, my smoker is trying to stay going. Back to the original hive here. I think these guys are starting to get just a little angry with me. I think they've just had it. It's getting a little cooler out and the wind's starting to pick up, or definitely a breeze. Feels good to me, but I don't think it feels too good to these guys. But one thing for sure, the bees aren't getting off the honeycomb down on that frame. It's just full of new honey, and I think they're going to stay down there for a little while. Let's get this super off and see what's going on down below. Actually, I want to see. Forgot I wanted to check a few of these frames to see if there were any eggs or queen cells. Need a little grabber, a little frame grabber. There we go. Okay, got some honey going on and some capped brood. I think I'll stick this over in that super. Make sure that the queen isn't on here. I know I haven't checked yet, but I'm just going to check right now. Okay, and what I really want to find, I just really want to find some eggs here. Let's see, capped brood and capped brood. I'm going to look up at the sun and see if there are any obvious eggs in here. Okay, I know this video is running a little long, but I'll edit it down to be, hopefully just maybe 5 minutes, maybe just a little bit more than that. But it seems like I've already been out here, well, over 30 minutes. More capped brood. That's a good one for the nuke. And I don't see any obvious queen. Hopefully I'm going to find the queen. Hopefully I'll be finding the queen somewhere in, either in the middle right here or down in the bottom hive. Oh, I have a bee up my pant leg. I feel him crawling up my leg. And I feel like I'm going to feel a sting sometime soon. Just want to get to those eggs. Oh, more capped brood. I tell you, this hive is the best hive I've ever had. Well, I haven't had bees that long, but it was a great hive. Especially not to slow down at all over the winter time. And fortunately, it never left. They never absconded. Some pollen, some capped brood. Capped brood. I'm not seeing any queen cells yet, or the queen. They're really starting to buzz around my head quite a bit. A lot of drone cells, a lot of drones, hatched out drones, and I'm not seeing any new eggs. So hopefully the queen's down in the bottom, and get this super off, set it on the ground. Actually, I think I'll just set it right over. Oh my gosh, I'll set it over here. And, oh, now they're going crazy. One sting. I'll put a lid over on these guys over here. Put a lid on them. Try and keep them in a little bit more. There we go. Now my smoker's going. And this one's really stuck. And you can see there's not a lot down in the bottom. As you can see by that frame, there's not a lot in the bottom. So I have a feeling that if I picked the deep up and I put a super underneath, then the queen would come up and start filling up the frames in this deep. Oh, well, that's crazy looking. Almost all drone. Well, yeah, I would just say all drone. I'm going to take that frame out. I'd like to be finding that queen, but I have a feeling that I'm not going to find her until tomorrow or the next day when I get back out here. No eggs down here, and I'm not finding the queen. So I believe I'm going to need to put one of the supers back on here, just at least for tonight. Let me see if I can find another frame, a normal deep frame, and do something else with that one. Here we go. Get this one in here. Go find one more to put on the end. And let's see what's in here. Get this one put over there. And find a normal lid, since this is a bottom. Okay, I found a lid with a feeder hole on the top. That way I can take some sugar water, put it in one of my gallon feeders, and put it on the top of these guys. You know, I forgot what I was going to do. I was going to flip these hives. But they're just so angry right now. I'm going to leave that for tomorrow. Tomorrow or the next day. Probably tomorrow I'll get out here. There we go. That'll make them happy for now anyway. Make me happy for now. And get something done with that honeycomb still sitting on the ground. Get down, you guys. Get down. Now I have another one of these lids. So I'll go grab that for the super that I started over here. Okay, this is the weird deep with all the drone eggs on it. And I don't see the queen running around on there at all, or on the back. And let's see. Okay guys, move, move, move. The super frame with capped brood, I'm going to stick in here. Oops, I forgot. That was the one with all the honeycomb. You guys should have reminded me. I'm going to see if I can see the queen, obviously, anywhere on this honeycomb. It's kind of hard to tell whether she's there or not. Got some queen cells started. You can see them, well, possibly you can see them. There's a couple right here, a few over there, but they're not capped over. Well, I'm not seeing her on here. She could be deep down in there anywhere, but I'm not going to tear it apart right now. Like I said, leave it for tomorrow, and I can take this small frame and put it over in the other super nuke that I started. Let's see, get one of these empty frames out. Push a few over. I'll push that one over too. That one's got honey on it. And I'll get this capped brood put down in there. There we go, just slid down in there perfectly. So tomorrow, bring you guys back out here. I'll be looking for the queen, but right now, that's about all I can do for today, physically anyway. And the weather's taken a turn for the worse, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a very small hole in the bottom. Let some of these guys out, but I don't want them all coming out at one time and possibly absconding. So I'm just going to cut it off. There's a little tiny opening there for some of the bees to get out. Like I said, be back out here tomorrow to see what's going on. So thanks for joining me this afternoon, you guys. And I will be talking to you. Well, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.